This episode is sponsored by Link ECU. I actually run their Link ECU plug-and-play ECU. They also have plug-and-play ECUs for Audis, BMWs, Hondas, Mazdas, Mitsubishis, Nissan, Subaru, and Toyota. Yeah, I had to write it down. And if one of those isn't your car, then they do offer wiring ECU options. But they do offer a wide selection of plug-and-play ECUs, especially for JDM vehicles. Another big benefit is they are affordable. If you compare them to other ECUs on the market, they are on the lower end of the scale for price. Meanwhile, they do have all the features of a lot of the higher end ECUs. So make sure you go check out Link ECU. I'll leave a link down in the description. Great guys to deal with, great products, and it's gonna get me down the track this year. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad to have you back here. As you can see, we're holding some of the interior parts. We're gonna test fit the shifter inside the car to see if we can get these plastics to clear and if we can reuse them. Thank you guys so much for 1,000 likes on that last video. Make sure you show me some love, give me some more likes on this video. I know the last video was really like a clickbaity title and making fun of someone, but I had to do it. I'm always poking fun and talking shit. So that's just what we're all about. Without further ado, let's do some work today. Let's put in some solid effort. So here's our shifter setup. It's kind of still connected to the drive shaft loop a little bit here. This is how we ran it last season, and it was just inside the tunnel with these brackets. I believe this is a B&M quick shifter, so this is park, and then reverse, I think, drive, neutral, first gear again, second, third. So the cool thing about this shifter is that if we can retain our factory boot, it kind of still looks like a 6-speed shifter. So that's kind of the goal, is to be able to fit this back on here. So it kind of looks like our 6-speed, but it's still an automatic. So I'm kind of a loser still. But I like autos. The older I get, and the more I like to win races, the more I enjoy autos. And now we'll take off our haggard ass brackets that I built last season. There's an easier way. So in order to test this out, we're just gonna steal a piece of cardboard here. Shifter here for meow. I don't even know where it goes, to be honest. The old time slips in here. Man, it'll be close if it fits, but probably not. It's probably still going to be too tall. So I've always kind of wanted to get into fabricating things, but I've never really had the patience or the ability to just sit down and do things. So if I take my time doing this, it might come out all right, and I might gain some more fabricating skills. But I think I'm just gonna put it flat and deal with the circumstances after. If we can't run that shifter cover, then so be it, we can't run that shifter cover. We'll figure something out. So we're gonna climb back into our chariot, and we should bend this right here. And start making our template. So we'll cut this first shape out first. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm getting really good at just winging it. This is a really rough template to put in here. Perfect. Now the only issue is, do we have enough metal in our scrap piece to cut out our template? I think we do. Ah! got for Fitman. That's gonna work just fine. And I'm gonna take a bit off this corner. Rightio partners, so we have our little piece of metal that we're gonna use to patch up the floor. What we're gonna have to do now is get the flappy wheel out and just take off some of the paint so we can weld to it, and then clean up the paint in there so we can weld to that also. So let's put the flappy wheel on the grinder and clean up some cleanups. And by flappy wheel, I mean one of these sanding discs. I learned the hard way that if you use a grinding disc to grind down sheet metal, it gets too thin and you blow through it real too easy. So get one of these thingies. Now, I get a lot of comments that say, wow, you're really shit. I would never pay a dime for you to work on my car. Well, I hope you wouldn't, because I wouldn't pay a dime for me to work on my car. I'm by no means an expert, and I don't want to do this for a living, so I'm just doing it for myself. So if you don't like that, you can pretty much... Bye, Felicia. Ugh, I forgot my gloves in the car. Focus, baby, focus. I hope it's in focus, I can't see from here. Oh, that's where my safety glasses are. I had the helmet on grind mode. Blinded myself. Oh my god, all my welds keep failing. Remember, by no means am I a professional at this. So I started off really bad, and I realized that I had to clean it up a little bit more. I cut myself, I don't even know how I did that. And so it looks like bird turd for about half the way. And then I started figuring out a system of, I would push down the metal, put a tack down, move like 2 inches, put another tack down, and then hammer all the metal in between it so it's perfectly flat, and because that was a good system. So I'll show you how bad it turned out now. So you can see we started over here in bird turd territory and moved up into more, and then moved down to here. And then we found out that we can try and drag the welds out a little bit down here, and they still sucked. And then I figured it out right around here. So right here, and then I went around and yeah. So as you can see, it's just one big hazy fog in here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open the garage door, let out some of this getting me high smoke. I'm really gonna pay for this later when I have a headache, because I'm really stupid and I just, I don't have a ventilation system, kind of. Then I'm gonna grind that down a little bit. I'm gonna go to the GAIM, work on my gains. Just gonna go to the GAIM while this all settles down and stuff. And I have to go shovel outside because second winter came. Oh, hey Canadian land. Screw me a little harder, why don't you? And we back, and I swole bro. So this is where we're at with this thing. That's just kind of how it's gonna sit, and that's okay with me. It's gonna be painted up and covered up, so whatever. Moving on. Next up on the agenda is over here, and it is this thing. This is our trans cooler that we're gonna have to mount up in here. So, 2 things we gotta do before we actually mount this trans cooler in here is we're gonna have to put the wheel back on and the bumper back on and see what kind of room we have. But, thinking something like this, I have to remember that my intercooler piping comes down through here and around. There was previously brackets on it already, and it did mount like, oh, I forgot there was a bit of trans fluid in this and I just got it all over myself. Great. I just done pissed myself. Sorry, Garage 4. Okay, I'll clean up in a second, but it was mounted like this before. So I'm gonna put the wheel on and the bumper and we'll see what kind of room we have. There's no way to get good camera angles. That's where it sat last time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that position. So it seems like my positioning is gonna work fine. However, I'm just not happy with the mount that I have made. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna redo this mount up, because look how garbage that is. And look how garbage my piece of angle iron is. So I'm gonna make a new bracket, and I really wanna do it just for the experience of getting more into fabricating. What I ended up doing was just getting some round stock and some flat stock. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm just gonna flat stock here to here and here to here, and then I'm gonna build some round stock brackets off them, and then bolt those to the body itself. Cutty time! My vise still isn't actually mounted, but this is still better than trying to hold it by myself. Bam, bam! So my center punch isn't the greatest, or my center punching skills, but it just has to be close enough. Battery too dead. Ugh. My one-time use drill bits. Okay, so we have our plates made now. Yep. When I flip it upside down, oil comes out of the cooler. Like meow. They fit. So I'm gonna bolt those up, and then we'll go hold this up where we want it, and then, damn it, I gotta make 2 more plates. Metal. So I'm gonna have to build 2 more plates to bolt onto the car, and then once they're bolted in, I can weld metal to them. So kind of like tabs, really. I'm gonna do that real quick. 2 more plates. Hooray! 2 more thingies. So I guess the plan is gonna be bolt these in where I need them, bolt these onto the cooler, put the cooler where I need it, and then banana string some of this between it. Well, yeah, you guys were asking who makes that box over here. The one that I'm going to use for my wiring, and it's actually Leash Electronics. Not sponsored by them, just use their box. So I think we're going to try and utilize existing holes. So we have 1 tab put here, 1 tab down here. I mean, I can't hold the cooler and the camera at the same time. So, sorry, I mean it. I apologize for the fan again. Here's where the next one is. I had to put the intercooler and the piping on just to see where I could go, and it looks like maybe something like this is going to be the best idea. That's the wheel at full lock. I still have a bit of room. So I'll have to go underneath that pipe with some brackets and then over top of it with other ones. I didn't think about how I was going to bend this before I bought it, but what I'm doing is I'm just sticking crescent wrench on one side and on the other side, and then I'm just pulling them apart to bend it. So kind of like, and then I get a little bit of a bend in it. Yahoo! This is gonna take a bit of while. I'm gonna not film. And it can hold its own weight. The other one should be easy to put in. I did put it at a weird angle. I actually don't know why it's at that angle right now. It moved on me. Ugh! It's not supposed to be this tilty at the bottom or the top. Okay, we're all good now. With 1 on there, I can still bend. With 1 on there, I can still just bend 1 rod. So this should work out fine still. We're all good. Let's make some more brackets. Also what I do is I just take a piece of wire, this big wire here, and then run it from where I want to go to where else I want to go, and then that's what I cut up. So here's what we have right now. I just put the top and the one bottom one on, but it still seems like it's going to be too shaky. I don't know if I should continue even with the bottom one to see if it'll get rid of some of the shake, but we might have to go back to the drawing board. What I should do is probably commit to this last bottom one. It won't take too long and it might get rid of some of the shake. It does seem solid enough to hold it, but how long before it vibrates itself apart? So I'll give it one shot. One shot. I'll make that last little bottom bracket. I'll just tack it in place, and if it doesn't turn out okay, then chop suey. Bam! So, oops. All the shaking seems to be coming from down actually at the plate side of things, where I welded to the... and up here also. So maybe those plate things aren't strong enough? So, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna be the Canadian Stig for you for a little bit. So, I think I'm gonna sleep on it, and then I'll get back to you guys tomorrow with an idea. Maybe not tomorrow, but like the next day I'll make a video. And maybe we'll do more fun things. Maybe I'll get some parts in the mail, because all these little tedious things are taking so much time. Also, if I had to rate my fabricating skills, it's like a -2 out of 150,000 million. And I'm just like almost every other one of you guys who is very rookie at doing fabricating and car things, kind of. And I'm just learning along the way. It's all a learning process. I'll do this time and I'll learn something from it, and then I'll do it a little bit better next time. So make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up. I'm sorry that I didn't get a lot done, but I have been out here for like, I don't know, like 4.5 hours, maybe 5 hours. And that's just the way she goes sometimes. Like I said, 10% of the build takes 90% of the time. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. What was our dirty? Peace easy.
Hey, you party people. So I intended to upload this video today, which is the 25th, I believe. However, Windows with the new update really kind of screwed me over, because the new update actually disabled my keyboard and mouse on the opening screen for Windows, so I can't put my password in, so I can't, and it's hard to do anything without a keyboard and mouse. So it all works like in these menus of Windows, just not when it starts up. And apparently it's a really common issue with the new update for Windows 10, so I'm gonna have to reinstall Windows, I guess, and lose all my editing programs and everything and re-download them all again. So this might be a little bit late coming out.
Sorry, this is the screen I'm talking about. You can see mouse, keyboard. It doesn't work, but if I go into like the BIOS or whatever it's called at the beginning, and like safe mode and all that stuff, it all works in there. Just not as soon as Windows starts being Windows.
Last update. So what I had to do was I had to pull out my old hard drive that crashed before, and I just hooked up my old one. My old one has all my programs on it. Also my dream car in the background, Audi R8. So as of currently, I lost about 40 videos of footage on 40 videos of old footage on that hard drive. Well, it's not lost, it's just stuck on there. So I'll use this hard drive, I'll get a new one tomorrow, I'll get all my programs back, and I'll be back making videos steadily. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Peace easy.